Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about something that's kind of relevant, but also not really all that relevant. With the new weapon refinery banner that just came out, it kind of got me thinking, what other units are out there that I think should get a weapon upgrade? Well, as luck would have it, here are my top 5 units who I think are in a major need of a weapon upgrade. Number 5. La Rochelle. So La Rochelle has Ivaldi, a weapon that's already pretty kicking, but it only grants defense +3 and gives you, attack and speed bonus of +3 if the opponent's HP is equal to 100 at the start of the turn. Now, while that in itself isn't bad, Ivaldi is, how do we say, kind of legendary. For those of you that don't know, Ivaldi is one of the sacred twins. Paired alongside Latona, which I think I'm saying that right, the Saint's staff from the Sacred Stones. Now, while we've already seen some other sacred twin weapons get an upgrade, I think Ivaldi is pretty deserving of it. It doesn't really make La Rochelle all that OP to begin with, and La Rochelle's stats aren't necessarily all that fantastic, but I mean, it is still a legendary weapon. And not to mention, if she gets an upgrade, it might kind of help boost her use a little bit, maybe? I don't know. I feel like blue tomes are a little competitive, and La Rochelle is a cavalry unit, so I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer. Like, if you want to make her more popular, you could do that, and I think, honestly, she's pretty deserving of it. Number 4, Elincia. Now, if you're not savvy because you didn't play the Radiant Saga, this is Elincia, and she has the legendary sword, Amiti. Now, as it stands, Amiti is kind of like a brave weapon. It's going to reduce her speed by 2, but it's also going to ensure that she attacks twice when she initiates the attack. Now, while brave weapons are pretty good generally, just like on their own, in fact, I don't think you can actually upgrade brave weapons, Amiti is a pretty legendary piece of weaponry. It is the sole sword given to rulers of House Crimea. And even though it's like a royal heirloom weapon thing that's passed down, it's just good at being fast. Like, why is it just fast? It's it's a royal legendary weapon. Well, as it turns out in the games, it actually has the same brave effect. However, it gives a +3 bonus to defense and resistance. So while Amiti's effect in Heroes is already pretty cool, I think giving that defense and res buff might be kind of nice, and it would be following suit with how it's presented in the actual games that Elincia is a part of. Overall, I'm just sad that Amiti is just fast. Number 3, Inez. So Inez's weapon is called Needhog, and if that sounds familiar to you, then congratulations, you played Sacred Stones, or you know what the Sacred Twins weapons are. Yep, that's right, we got another one! And this one is paired alongside Vidofnir, which, don't even get me started on Vidofnir. Tana's weapon is already pretty solid. That's why it didn't make this list. So, Vidofnir is good. I'm happy with that one. So in Heroes, Needhog basically gives a stat buff of attack, speed, defense, and resistance of 2 times the number of characters that it is immediately next to. Basically, if you want to take advantage of this effect, you got to move in like a cross shape all throughout the map, just like this, the entire time. Now, as you might imagine, it's a little inconvenient to keep units right next to another unit the entire time. And there are, passives that can allow units to travel to and from others, but it's kind of inconvenient. And it's not really gonna boost you that much. So Needhog is already a pretty banging weapon, and it's legendary, and it's a Sacred Twins weapon. Why haven't we got an upgrade? Because, like, you know, there are some other fabled bows throughout the Fire Emblem history that have gotten heroes upgrades already. Takumi and Fujin Yumi, Origin Parthia, even New Year Corrin with Hamaya. Like, they're all upgradable. They're all upgraded. You can upgrade them. I don't know why Inez is getting the shaft. I don't think. Is the shaft a part of a bow? Is a shaft a part of a bow? Shaft refers to a long part of an arrow. Totally nailed that pun. Moving on. Seriously, I don't know why they would leave out Inez and Nidhogg when the other bows, which are also legendary, are getting upgrades. Like, I don't get that. Give him close counter. That's all I want. Just give him close counter. He needs it. Inez is trying real hard over here, and it's a very competitive market. We got things like Takumi, and then Soulless Takumi, and then Corrin. Why are they all Fates characters? Number 2, Corrin. Speaking of Fates characters, say hello to male Corrin, wielder of Yato, one of 5 legendary weapons forged to give people a chance against dragons. The chance of survival against dragons. Dragons. Now, with such a lead up in the lore, you would expect a pretty baller weapon from that, right? Yato gives a speed bonus of +4 if Corrin initiates attack. That's it. It's like a meaty. It's fast, but not the good kind of fast where it gets to attack twice. It just makes you fast. So what are the other 4 legendary weapons that were forged in sync with this? Let's find out. Fujin Yumi gets an upgrade. Raijinto gives you distant counter. Brynhildr gets an upgrade. Siegfried gives distant counter. Oh, and then there's also Yato, which gives you speed +4 when you attack. Do I really have to explain why this is just so unfair? So one of the cool options that Yato kind of gives you in Heroes maybe is that in Fates, Yato actually changes appearance based on the path that you take as the Avatar or as Corrin. And normally with most weapon upgrades, you get a couple different options as to how you would like that weapon to be upgraded. So I think a cool little side thing would be if you had like a Revelations upgrade, or, you know, a Birthright upgrade, or a Conquest upgrade. Just give it 3 possible options and then kind of make it fit that tone. Now, obviously, giving it distant counter would be kind of a no-brainer, given that the other 2 swords that were mentioned within this family of legendary weapons also gets distant counter. But I understand that you can't just constantly be giving weapons distant counter. So maybe in addition to the speed, you get like an attack, defense, res buff 2, maybe, or like some kind of restorative power for hit points, or something. Like, I don't know. Like, just do something else besides the speed. The speed is such a lame bonus. Number 1, Roy. Okay, I can't begin to explain how disappointed I have been since we got weapon upgrades that Roy has not been eligible for this yet. Roy's weapon is the legendary Binding Blade, and what it does right now is actually kind of lame. It gives defense and res +2 when Roy is attacked. I mean, shoot, at least Corrin got like a +4 speed. Like, what's this? Literally, what was +2? If you're not savvy about the Binding Blade, then let me fill you in, because this thing is actually pretty powerful. Now, in Roy's game, which is titled after the sword itself, by the way, Roy is granted a defense and res bonus of +5. 3 more points than what he gets in Heroes. Not only that, it's also effective against Manicheets, similar to another fancy Falchion sword that also got an upgrade. Additionally, I guess you can actually use it as a consumable item to restore 30 hit points. But you probably shouldn't do that. That's probably a pretty bad idea. Yeah, don't do that. Roy can also make an appearance in Shadows of Valentia, and it has some pretty kickin' powers in that too. According to the wiki description, it can KO gods and seal Oculus, a black magic spell exclusively used by none other than Duma. Yes, a +2 bonus of defense and res when Roy gets attacked is totally accurate and worthy of the Binding Blade. Let's also take into account that Roy is in a very competitive type of unit. I mean, infantry sword units are like, there's so many. There's so many good units. And a lot of them get upgrades too. Not only is what's going on with Roy's sword now kind of lame, but giving him the upgrade option would also kind of make him more viable in a very competitive pool of infantry sword units. It would be nice. Case in point, either give Binding Blade an upgrade or stop making Roy a 5-star, because I get really sad when he pity breaks me. There you guys go. There are 5 units that I think are very deserving of weapon upgrades. Possibly, you know, in a future weapon upgrade expansion down the road. Now comes the time when you get to tell me what you think. Do you guys have any units in mind that might be deserving of a weapon upgrade, or just the weapon itself? Like, the weapon is really awesome, obviously, and it's kind of lame in Heroes. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. If you guys haven't, be sure to subscribe. It's free. It lets you know when I put out more Heroes or just general Nintendo type content over here on the KantoCast YouTube channel. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and you want more stuff like it, like top 5s or whatever. You know, I'll probably end up doing some more, something like that. But leave a like if you enjoyed. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I am Blue, and I will catch you next time.